and off it went, and that would usually begin, the start of half an hour of adrenaline activity for me.
There's probably a lot of things I can't talk about tonight. We did do some of the, in the early days when we went up to Catherine, I've got a photo of Dave Shannon, who the guys talked about before, and myself. We put on our helmets, we put on the chaps and spurs, and quite a few rums, and stuck the Akuba on top of the helmet, and we both rode a Brahman bull. Before we rode it, we said to the guys, have you got any smaller ones? They said, no mate, not up here.
What about you, Jim?
Yeah, for myself, we did a lot of shows, and like some of the biggest shows, like Sydney, we got a full packed house, and we drive out that gate, and then hear all the crowd. With the Holdens, just the noise and the sound coming out of them, the crowd is just erupt. Yeah, it's just a great feeling to hear that crowd, especially at the Sydney and Brisbane and Melbourne shows, the bigger shows. That was just awesome atmosphere.
Yeah, I think most people in the room tonight would have great memories of the team performing at different shows around the country. I know for myself, it was a great sense of pride with the brand when we go to the local show and see the team perform, and the other people there. I kind of thought they were ringing, I'm a Holden fan 365 days a year, not a 15-minute show. So it was a great thing that you guys did over the years, and entertained, as I understand, 45 million people over something like 1,000 shows, 1,000 different venues and 9,000 shows over 40 years. So thank you very much to all of you.
I'd just like to apologise for some of the other drivers that unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, because there's a World Championship rally, which is all our backgrounds. That's on in New Zealand this weekend, so have a guess where they are.
Would be popping up in the photos there would have been straight off the shelf, and just maintenance and running ongoing repairs as they went. And then as the team moved along, eventually we started upgrading shock absorbers and springs and putting a sump guard under the ramp jump car. The two-wheel drive cars generally had a lock diff of some sort, either a Detroit locker or a locker of some description. But generally, the brief was to keep them as close to standard as possible. It was really important for Lloyd and the team and Holden to have a car that the family could see doing these radical things and precision driving, activities out on the paddock, and then look in the door and actually see this is the same car that Dad drives, or the same car for sale at the local showroom.
Because you used to drive the cars home, like when you were performing in Brisbane.
Yeah, that's correct, and that's for me. That was part of the magic of being in the team, was driving a car around the paddock and doing this display. And within 15 minutes, half an hour, you're running out the front gate onto the public street in this hero car that had just been entertaining thousands of people. Only 30, 40 minutes before. It was pretty special, that.
Speaking of going home, so what sort of commitment time-wise did the team require of the drivers? Did you have day jobs, or was it a year-round thing?
Yeah, it was roughly 3 months of the year that we were away for, throughout the year, so we all had day jobs. Myself, I was a mobile mechanic in between, so park the van up and jump on a plane, and you'd be in another state doing a show. So it was a big commitment for the family as well, if you had a family. Some of the younger guys that were single, so it was a bit better for them.
And